Okay, it's 6 o'clock. I think we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jen, can we have the roll call, please?
Roll call. Richard Lakowitz.
Here.
Denny Sands.
Here.
Josh Snyder.
Here.
Mark Stanley.
Here.
Kellen Welsh.
Here.
Steve Wilhelm.
Here.
All present.
Okay. Do we have any additions to the agenda? None? Okay, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda. A second.
Roll call, please.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
She got there before you did.
Sorry, my glasses on.
Okay, thank you. Okay, citizens addressing the board. Do we have a? Thank you. Field trip?
Just want to say something before the repairs get done on Comanche Street. I was in the road building industry for 47 years. I was a manager of an asphalt plant for 39. It would be my advice that when you go to do those repairs, it'd be optimal to do them either in June or July, due to the fact that we'll be experiencing hot weather, due to the fact that now all the material mixes and stuff are recycled, which they don't hold their thermal heat retention as good as they used to because of the recycle. But if you put it down in the hotter months of the year, it adheres better.
Okay, thank you. Brian Maloney, what you got?
Yeah, so thank you for allowing me to speak again. I wanted to talk about hotel variants. I'm grateful for living in Shabbona. I think it's a wonderful community full of wonderful people, like I said before. And I think it's a good idea to make sure that our business or downtown reflects that goodness. And I think it can be much improved. And so I would ask the board members to really carefully consider to what extent you want the government to regulate the businesses in that downtown district, especially when safety concerns don't seem to really be very much involved. In this case, the zoning in a few of the instances, I'm not sure if it was all of the variance asks or just some of them, they were allowing the variance. It's common practice to have a hotel room on the first floor. It's not like really weird. There's going to be issues with accessibility in those hotels, particularly the old hotel building, and having people be able to access different levels. And so having something on the first floor would be amenable to that. The owners need money to make improvements to raise their rates. And so this would allow them to get more money to make improvements to raise their rates. The median income in Shabbona is under $65,000, and that's less than the median income in surrounding communities. There's some that are more populated, like the Calvin Rochelle, that are lower than that, but they have a lot more people, so they have a lot more customer base. So that's why I urge you, to really consider it. You're the board, you have the authority, you have the responsibility to do it. Just consider it. I'm not a business owner. I spent my career working in education, and I know from my experience, from my mom's experience, when the government gets overly involved in the management of schools or other areas, it gets worse for everybody. And so there's teachers lose, students lose. And so I consider you, just really urge you to carefully consider to what extent you're willing and on what grounds you want to start regulating businesses. That's all I'd like to say. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ryan. William?
I'd encourage the board to approve the zoning variances that are on the agenda tonight. Regardless of, any sort of code definitions, in a practical sense, a hotel is something that has a whole bunch of people coming and going. A house or a residence is something that people are going to move all their stuff into and live there for a very long time. And most of the customers hotels that I've noticed have been people that are just coming and going, and I've met a number of them that are staying upstairs from the Shabbona Treasure Store, and didn't get any weird vibes about any of them, and most of them are contractors, things like that, that are just sort of passing through the area and just want cheap housing, or a cheap place to stay. But when you have businesses, where is what I would say is where people are coming and going, you are going to have people parking at those businesses. And a business that is primarily going to consume parking spots overnight, a business that's primarily going to consume parking spots during the day, is exactly the kind of additional business that the village should encourage to fit into the village, because that's the kind of thing that's going to create the least amount of impact on downtown. There are plenty of people I know that will stay at these Airbnbs to go to the lake for the summertime. They just don't want to camp outdoors. I like that a little bit more as an adult, but I hated doing that as a kid, and certainly would have been pressuring my parents. I want to get a hotel room. I don't want to stay in a tent. And that's, I know a lot of the traffic that Helen has. These are people that, even though the housing may be cheap, that's not going to affect their spending decisions in terms of whether or not they're spending money at the lake or the cafe next door or things like that. I know that personally firsthand because I flew to Alaska, rented a room out there in a similar sort of a house in an Airbnb. I think it was between $500 to $600 for the entire month. So like $20 a night or so, and probably spent around $1,000 in travel and food and things like that in Anchorage while I was out there. Didn't have anything to do with the cost of housing. The lower cost of the housing meant that I was able to have more money to spend on other businesses in the area while I was visiting. So I think overall, bringing more tourism to Shabbona is the best possible thing you can do for that. And allowing these rooms to be used as an Airbnb is a lot less of a commitment than allowing these to be used as just a plain long-term residence. And if you have somebody move in there as a long-term residence, well, now you've got an issue where, like, if you want to do something else with the building because that's what the economy demands, you're gonna have to figure out how to get the tenants that are in there out first. But if you have Airbnbs where people are coming and going, it's easy to change that over to whatever the next commercial use is that's most appropriate at the time. And so there's a lot more flexibility involved there. So for all those reasons, I would encourage the board to move all of the zoning variances forward.
Thank you, William. And that's all we have there. We'll go to 5A, the village president's report. John's not here tonight. John Rood, again, is taking care of the plants in the bump outs, and really appreciate John doing that. It takes a big load off the Public Works people. I'd like to thank John, and if you guys see him, also if you could thank him and go on from there. And the other thing that I had tonight is we lost another resident. Phil Foster passed away. And for the people that don't know Phil, he's really supported this community and the community of Lee. Hired a lot of people, so maybe your thoughts could be with the family of Phil tonight. And then in your packet, there's an escrow agreement with Metro Communications. I'd like to thank our lawyer for getting this done. Was that everybody able to read the escrow agreement? So we're going to have $100,000 placed in an account that can be drawn on for this repair that Bill was talking about. So I feel a whole lot better about it. We're not dealing with an insurance company and an insurance adjuster. We're dealing with our new village engineers and the company that's going to put this together for us.
So moving forward, are we gonna adopt something like this where before they're allowed to dig, we're gonna have them bond or something before they dig on village property so we don't have to go through this again?
We do in our boring application, and last month, the board passed a ordinance. We're gonna have, if the project's worth $500,000, they're gonna have to put up a bond for $750,000. So hopefully we have that taken care of. It's amazing the amount of hits. We had 3 hits in one day here, and one costs a lot of money. So again, our legal counsel helped us out with that. So I think we're covered, don't you?
As soon as the money's put in the account, you have the bids, you'd be covered. And you just draw upon it as you get invoiced.
And quite honestly, Metro's been really good. We've been invoicing them for our expenses as we've went along, expenses for the legal counsel. Whatever expenses we've come up against, we've gotten paid for that yeah. They've been, quite honestly, they've been good, so. I hope we can get it put back together real quick. Any other questions on the escrow agreement? We'll go to B. It would be the village engineer report. And we received bids Tuesday for the thank you. The lawyer didn't have to help me. You're cheaper, well, no, never mind.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just stop there. We received 4 bids with the lowest bid being, it's in your packet. $73,124.50, which was just a little bit under the engineer's assessment with what he thought it was gonna cost, so. I'd like to go ahead and award this bid, have the engineers award this bid to Bluebird Contracting out of Rock Falls. And I would hope you guys have been able to read okay, so. Could I have a motion to award this bid to Bluebird Contracting?
Make a motion to approve.
Could I have a second, please?
Second.
And a voice vote, please.
No, roll.
Roll call. See, that's why you're here.
Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Richard Lockowitz,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Josh Snyder,
Yes.
Kellen Welsh,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, then we're gonna go on to the Public Works report. The first thing on is lead line replacement program. We got a letter from the EPA telling us we had to have a replacement program in place by yesterday. So I contacted Willett Hoffman, our new engineers, and asked if they could help us with a lead line replacement plan, and they did. And so it's gonna be a work in progress, but right now we're up to snuff with the EPA, so there'll be more to go on that, but we've got approximately 50 lead lines that have to be replaced. And according to the engineers, there's possibly some money to do that if we get going at it before everybody else does. I'll be able to report a little more about that next month, and Mark, I think your committee or somebody from your committee will be involved in talking to the engineers on this. We'll go on to number 2, resolution 2026-04-16R7. We're looking to use motor fuel tax money to seal coat the alleys in town. And the bid in here to do that, do all the alleys in town, was $31,289.50. And this is through DeKalb County. They have a master contract with civil construction to do this, so. The engineering and the watchful eye on the seal coaters will be done by the county. We haven't done the alleys for quite some time. I can't tell you exactly when the last was. But if you've been in the alleys in town, you notice the weeds growing up in the cracks in such a matter, so. I'd like to get the cracks sealed and the weeds gone before any more damage is done to the alleys. So I'd like to have a motion to, seal coat the alleys for $31,289.50.
You say that's out of motor fuel tax?
That's out of motor fuel tax.
That'll be the next vote, to take it out of motor fuel tax.
Okay. Make a motion to approve it. That'll be done.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Richard Luckowitz,
Yes.
Kellen Welsh,
Yes.
Josh Snyder,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, then resolution 2026-04-16R8. It's a resolution for the seal coating. Got a motion to approve that, please.
Make a motion to approve it.
Second. Roll call vote.
Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Josh Snyder,
Yes.
Richard Luckowitz,
Yes.
Kellen Welsh,
Yes.
motion carried.
Frank, I have a addition to Public Works.
Oh, okay, Danny.
I'm driving past the park, the community park there, and looked over at the water tower, and it is really, really dirty on the bottom half of the water tower. And I just wonder if there's some way we can spray it and make it cleaner or whatever. It just hit me, this is where our drinking water is coming out of, and it looks like, the bottom of it is nasty looking. If we could get it somehow cleaned or washed or whatever it takes, I don't know. But just a comment that I had from driving down the road.
Okay, and again, the years get by me, but it was, I don't know, probably 8 years ago we had it washed. So,
Is there any way we can get a guesstimate on it, or,
we can get an estimate on doing that, yeah,
okay,
yeah, we can do that. Yeah. We'll get an estimate and maybe we can have it by next month, an estimate,
okay, thank
see if
you,
it wants to be done.
thank you.
Anything else before I go on into the committee reports? Okay, let's go D1, the infrastructure committee, Mark Stanley.
So, we were talking, Frank, I think we need to have, schedule a meeting and get the infrastructure committee together before we go talk to the county about, us discussing with them about taking the, Shabbona Road over from the county. One, because of your comment, when you guys had problems down there about how shallow the sewer is. And well, I guess to discuss what we'd like to see out of from the county over us taking the road over before we, have a meeting with them, before we schedule a meeting with them.
I think we need to do that and decide about some projects that we'd like to have done, what we'd like to have done, so that would be on your committee, and please schedule a meeting.
Okay, Jen, I'll have to get with you after the meeting and we'll get a date. Hopefully everybody will be able to make it, so. And that's all I have for right now.
Okay. Thank you. Let's go to number 2, the finance committee. Caleb, what do you got?
We're still working on budget. We'll have appropriations to work on here. We're also working on utility rates. I expect we'll probably have a meeting about that in a week or two.
Okay. Okay, anything else?
That's it for now.
Okay, development committee. Josh, what do you got?
I don't have anything right now.
And for public affairs committee, Denny?
and nothing new.
Okay, we'll go on to E, the sheriff's report. Any questions on the sheriff's report?
Okay, typical.
It is pretty typical. I've asked that they make a change in hours. They have the sheriffs in town more in the daytime when the garbage trucks are going through at Mach 8 or 9 or 10, whatever they go through at. And again, to be able to watch the young people driving to the school that almost as fast as the semis go. So they have changed their hours. We'll look at changing them back to have them later in the evening when the campers get here in such a matter. There's more people in town at a later time, so. I did ask for these hours to be changed and they did that. So. Okay, we'll go on to F. Approval of the regular board meeting minutes from March 19th, 2026.
Need a motion to approve.
Could I have a second for that motion, please?
I second it.
Roll call vote, please.
Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Josh Schneider, Callan Welsh,
Yes.
Richard Luckowitz.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, how about the clerk's report?
In your packet, there was an ethics review request included along with Dominic's response to it. The attorney is our ethics advisor. So, just kind of FYI, so you guys were all aware. I'm gonna be doing an Arbor Day event on behalf of the village along with the library. I talked to the director, Melanie, a couple weeks ago. We're gonna do it on May 2nd during the Farmers Market Family Fun Day, which is from 9 to 1 on May 2nd, the first farmers market of the season. We're gonna do a nature scavenger hunt, and I'm working on anything beyond that. So, if you guys are around, check out the farmers market. If you got kids or grandkids or cousins, bring them to have some fun.
I got a question or a comment. As we come up on camping season now, we have a lot of campers out there in the state park. Is there any way that we could get more awareness to them that, you know, there is a farmer's market on Saturdays and I think it's every other Saturday or some way of
I
as
can
campers,
talk
a lot of times they sit around looking for something to do.
I can talk to the farmer's market manager and make sure she does that. The farmer's market's not ours. There's a manager for it. She does all of the media and everything for it.
Yeah, and that can be applied, you know, not only to the farmer's market, but other things going on in town. So we need to be more conversation between us and the park. Whatever that conversation is, or how it's done, just as long as it gets done.
When the restaurant opens up, we might be able to post stuff there.
Okay, well, let's try and come up with ideas to offer the campers.
Be a great topic for the Public Affairs Committee.
Great minds think alike. That's what we're gonna tell you. Jenny, would you schedule a meeting and that be one of the topics, please?
Okay,
I had 9 FOIAs come in between April 1st and April 4th. I responded to all 9 by April 7th. I spent approximately 17 hours on the 9 FOIAs. So all 9 of them are going to be monthly FOIAs. One of them's been from IBW 364 for building permits issued. So we've always done the spreadsheet for that anyway. So, but between Prairie State Wire and DeKalb Times, the other 8 started coming as of February of this year. And this would be the 3rd month that they've come through. So I'm assuming I'll continue to get them. They'll get faster to do because I have templates now. So, in fiscal year 26, they're including those, there's been 68 FOIA requests. Well, 68 requests, 66 were FOIA and 2 were ethics reviews. Just kind of an FYI for you guys. Thank you to everyone for completing statements of economic interest. We're all done with that for active people. And then this month, I'm going to be attending the Municipal Clerks Institute Spring Seminar in Elgin next week. And then IDOT is hosting, District 3 is part of it, is hosting MFT training on April 28th in late afternoon in DeKalb. And it's on how you do the paperwork and everything for MFT resolutions and all the 90,000 other forms you have to fill out when you do MFT. And then the following week, I'm at a Northwestern Illinois Municipal Clerks meeting for a morning. And then Blissful Spa stopped in the office this afternoon. I know Elizabeth talked to Frank. She's planning its grand opening for Saturday, June 20th at 2 p.m. She was excited and she'd like if the village can assist with a ribbon cutting ceremony. We do have big scissors and ribbon. And if anybody that could, we'll put it out. She'll putting it out in social media and stuff too, and reaching out to like Shabbona Express to publish it in their next editions. And I told her I'd help put it out on Facebook through the village, and more people that could come be great. She's already got a pretty good business starting up, so she's very excited.
Did you say a date for that?
Saturday, June 20th at 2 p.m. That was all I had.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay, the ethics review that Dominic did, has anybody got any questions on it? Because now would be the time to ask Dominic about this ethics review. Or is everybody good with it?
That was pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
Got anything to add, Dominic?
I do not.
Fair enough, then. Good.
Okay. We're gonna go on to G, Zoning Board of Appeals Planning Commission. And I'm gonna ask Dominic to help me out with this because I'm new to the game here and don't understand all this, so.
Yeah, I'll just do the process up front. So what's gonna happen is the items are considered separately. These are different. There were 4 findings of fact from planning and zoning, or zoning board of appeals, sorry. And so if you are going to proceed, after there's a motion and second to, and they're always in the affirmative, approve the variation, or you need to make sure that part of that is the finding of fact that is before you, which is an advisory body, a recommending body. So if they made findings of fact, if you want to deviate from that, this board would have to make its own findings of fact. But there were, I believe, 2 items recommended at the 2 different properties. One was for the confectionery, if I'm not mistaken. And this is 210 West Comanche. The confectionery was allowed. It had its findings of facts. It did not recommend 210 West Comanche first floor hotel rooms. And you have the findings of fact. 104 West Comanche basement hotel rooms. It did recommend those, but not for the first floor at 104 West Comanche. I believe that's all of them, correct, Jen?
There was also second floor hotel rooms at 210.
With no findings of fact, though.
That one had finding of facts. The first floor did not. Or it had no findings of fact, it just had
The recommendation, yes, that's what I thought, okay. So that's the process. If you adhere to those, you can go with the recommendations, but just so you're clear, the process is motion second in the affirmative, discussion including findings of fact if you want to deviate from those, and then you take a vote. And they're each individually so that there's a clear, concise record, not only the findings of fact. If you are going to adopt the findings of fact, you don't need to state that. If you're going to deviate from and disagree with the findings of fact, then you need to make your own. So that's the process. They go one by one.
Yeah, but how do you make your own, like,
She has the questionnaire, the same form checklist. And it's only if you're going to deviate from the recommendation.
It's the last page in the two ordinances, and I brought extra copies
And so each
of
of the
blank
board,
versions of finding of fact.
there's a series of questions regarding the variation sought and, you know, any impact on the community, development, so on and so forth, of adjacent properties. And so there's a series of questions, and you would go around,
I have blank ones,
you would go around the bend here and ask. That's
if
how
we
you
need
do it.
them.
well, you know, what I was thinking about was, we're talking people staying overnight on 3 different levels. The upstairs, the main floor, and the basement. Is that permissible to separate them, or do they all get voted on together?
There's 3 separate variations sought. Well, I shouldn't say 3 separate. There were 3 for 210 West Comanche, first floor and second floor hotel rooms, as well as a confectionery on the first floor. And then for 104 West Comanche, there was 2 first floor hotel rooms and basement hotel rooms.
But do we vote on each
You'll
one
vote on those
separately?
separately. So, for example, I understand that the confectionery, there was a recommendation to approve it and the variation of use. There was also a recommendation to approve the second floor hotel rooms, but not, which is 1C, but not necessarily, there was not a recommendation as to the first floor hotel rooms. Does that make sense? So you'll handle those separately because they treat.
And these recommendations are from a committee that
The zoning board
investigated.
of appeals and their advisory, you do not need to follow those recommendations. But if you're going to deviate from those recommendations and not follow them, you have to make your own. That's all it is.
You have to make your own, or just,
You have to make
Dismiss
your
them.
own.
You have to use that paper.
No, well, Jen, she just has it in front of you. She will read the roll on all of them.
yeah, I'm confused about what you're doing. Maybe
You're
it's
gonna
just,
say why you're against.
Yeah, she'll ask, for example, the first question for a finding of fact on your sheet is, the zoning board of appeals shall not recommend, variation unless it makes the following findings of fact. Well, these would be your findings of fact. Can the property in question yield a reasonable return if permitted to be used only under the conditions allowed by the regulations in that zoning district? That means if the variation is not granted, can the owner make a reasonable rate of return? That's all it means. You make a decision yes or no.
That's per thing that you're voting on, or that we're.
So if you don't, for example, the confectionery, it was recommended. They're saying, go to that one, just so I can give you an example.
I think everybody else is confused here.
No,
No, I mean, I remember though.
Yeah,
so they're saying, yeah, all 6 said yes. Can the property yield a reasonable rate of return only under conditions allowed by the regulations? So they said yes, which means they believe it can yield a rate of return, but I think the confectionery brings something extra, so that's why they've gone. Is the plight of the owner unique to the circumstances? They're saying no. If a variation is granted, will it alter the essential character of the locality? They wrote yes, but ultimately they recommended it. So if you want to recommend it and adopt it, you would follow the zoning board's findings of facts and recommendations. I don't necessarily agree with
Yeah,
you.
and you're voting on one at a time. What
You have to do it one at a time.
one at a time. What are the 3 things for that address?
and those are the only 3 things that
For
get
that
considered,
address.
that get considered or talked about?
Yes,
Yes.
those are the only things. You cannot talk about any other aspect of the business.
Nope.
It's only whether you're gonna give a variation of use to allow for a confectionery, or if you're gonna give a variation to allow for, you know, first floor hotel rooms, which I think those are competing. And then the third would be for second floor hotel
But
rooms.
nothing can, just one more time, nothing can be added or subtracted.
Not at this time, no.
Okay.
No.
Now I understand what you're saying.
Are you saying like conditions on that? That would be more in line with a special use.
Well, it could be conditions, but I don't know, you're saying that we cannot change it.
you have a variation request as it's presented and as recommended. So you would either agree with the zoning board and vote for it, or you would disagree with the zoning board. and-
Without any changes,
Correct?
okay? Just so we understand.
Questions, anybody?
May I speak?
Yeah.
Just in my individual capacity.
Yes, you may.
Obviously, I'm for it, so I would like if you voted yes. I've heard some board member concerns. So if the answer is not yes, I am putting together a plan that I think will be satisfactory. So I also wouldn't mind.
Maybe you shouldn't have said that.
Well, I also don't mind if you postpone that, the thing, like I would be agreeable to that. But again, obviously I asked for it, so, obviously I would like you to vote yes.
The one thing, I haven't looked at your code, sometimes there's a waiting period if you get rejected on a variation before you can reapply for one. I know a lot of I don't have your code in front of me, but a lot of communities have that. And I don't wanna prejudice your position, but I also wanna make sure I was correct when I said the confectionery and the first floor hotel rooms, they would be competing for the same space? Or is that wrong? The first floor hotel rooms are behind the confectionery.
Correct.
Okay, so those are, I misspoke, so next time just correct me.
Okay.
I haven't been in the building. So, they're not competing, so you'd be voting on all three items. Just for someone's phone.
I have a mini presentation, is that all?
You'd have to have a motion, we have to get into discussion, so which property?
No, for all of them. For the hotel rooms in particular.
I don't know, if you're the,
I guess, I might say, Callan and I talked briefly tonight on the phone. And he wanted to know what I needed to support it. And I said, I need more drawings, I need to know what you're gonna do. Because I didn't feel what we got from Callan with the application suited my needs, what I needed. I needed more of a, maybe not an engineered drawing, but an architectural drawing to see what's going on. And we talked, and he seemed like you were admittable to waiting until you could get that to us to look at it. Is that correct?
If it is the case that the board wants something like that, then yes.
We told you that last month.
At
the meeting. That just hand-drawn drawings. You don't even show a plan.
Okay, can I say something? So do you want him to pay $20,000 for an architect to do all your drawings for a meeting?
It's his building, and he wants to do something. I mean, the whole thing of it is, Josh, that if you have a plan, you would come prepared to do what you do, not a pencil drawing,
I agree, except for
okay?
he's asking for a variance, not a building permit at this point.
So how am I gonna prove something off a stick drawing? I'm not gonna do that.
well, let's not debate and prejudge before there's an actual motion on the floor.
Fair enough.
Purposes.
So I do think that I can assuage your concerns, Mark. So, if we just wanna postpone this, I will have more at the next meeting.
And we can table.
You can motion to postpone items G1, A through C, and G2, A through B to the next meeting by agreement with the petitioner.
What he said. They have a motion to that effect.
And then if you wanna circulate the petition, so it can be included in the board packet, or not the petition, materials in that.
Is this something that needs to go back to the
No,
zoning board?
they've already fulfilled their obligations by making recommendations.
To me, it doesn't look fulfilled. If we got all these questions, it wasn't fulfilled.
Though, these are your questions, this is not the zoning board's questions, those are two different bodies. They are a recommending body. They felt they had sufficient information after a public hearing to make recommendations to this board, and they did so. So based on those recommendations, if the petitioner wants to supplement the information, not change the variations that were discussed, to satiate the request of the board, he can do so. It doesn't change the nature of the variations.
It's all way more complicated than what it should be.
Okay, I was looking for a motion on A, B, and C of G1 and A and B of G2 to move this to our next meeting with the hopes that we get more information, drawings, such matter to take care of the questions that we have.
I motion that we move this to the next meeting. I second it.
Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Steve Wilhelm,
Yay.
Mark Stanley,
Yep.
Denny Sands,
No,
Josh Snyder,
No.
Richard Lakowitz,
Yes.
Callan Welsh.
Abstain.
He has to, yeah.
We got 3 ayes, 2 noes, 1 abstain, motion carries.
Okay, we will move this to the May meeting, and Callan will supply us with more information, correct?
Correct.
I think that's the thing to do. Thank you. Anything else we need to do there?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. I gotta turn the pages on. Okay, we'll go on to 6, financial. Approval of the bills and payroll for April 2026. Any questions from the board?
I have one question. Last meeting we had, we talked about, perhaps the fire department could have a tax on water to help lower the bill on the senior citizens. And we talked about, I don't know, did anybody ever approach the fire department to see if they were interested in doing it's a tax? I think I gave you the statute number and everything, that other towns do that. They have the fire departments have a tax that goes help pay for the water supply,
Okay, well,
which would include everybody in the fire district, not just the village.
yeah, I didn't get that from you. If I missed it, that's okay. But I think that's a question for the finance committee, because they are looking in the rate setting for the water and sewer.
Yeah, because it is a legal tax, and we just have never done it.
Maybe we wouldn't call it a tax, maybe it'd be a fee, a regular,
Donation.
a regular fee, but again, that should be something that I think the finance committee should look at, along with the rate setting that they're gonna do.
Okay.
It's very obvious if you look at the next thing on our board, that we are quite a ways underwater, so to speak, on the water fund.
Yeah, I'm looking for other sources
So
of revenue.
We do need to look at different sources of revenue, yes.
And
So,
there's one legal one out there, the fire department can do it.
well, and we can look at that.
Okay, thank you.
So so are there any other questions on the bills in the payroll? Okay, could I have a motion to approve the bills and the payroll for April 2026?
Make a motion to approve it.
The second, please.
I'll second it.
Roll call vote.
To approve the April 2026 bills and payroll, Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
Richard Lakowitz,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Josh Schneider,
Yes.
Kellen Welsh,
Yes.
motion carried.
6B, the treasurer report as of March 31st, 2026, the fund summary, the revenue reports, and the operating statement.
Those are all beginning on page 31, I believe, of your packet. Is that right?
26 of 82,
Yeah.
Oh,
printout.
okay.
It might be on the PDF
Yeah.
digital, page 31.
The first page is the year-to-date activity, so that was not all spent, or, that first page is the, revenue, so that wasn't all brought in this month, but, year-to-date, that's the revenue. And then we get into expenses, and those are all year-to-date as well.
Any questions on any of this, the fund balances, operating statement, expenses, revenues?
No.
Okay, like a motion to approve the treasurer report.
Make a motion to approve it.
And a second, please.
Second. Second it.
Roll call vote.
Roll call vote to accept the treasurer report. Oral. Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Richard Lakowitz,
Yes.
Kellen Welsh,
Yes.
Josh Schneider,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, we'll go to 6C, the utility billing update. And that's resolution 2026-04-16R2.
We're not sure what's going on with the meter reading in the laundry room at Shabbona Road, but it had an 80,000 usage read, which is normally the max is 22,000. So Public Works has been working with her plumber, the apartment building.
Is this a separate meter?
The laundry room has a meter that then the water flows to all the individual apartment meters. So they check the water softener, they check some other stuff. They're looking at outside spigot. Public Works is gonna be pulling weekly reads from there and then go to monthly after the first few weeks and monitor and see if they catch. They don't know if an outside spigot got left on. We don't know what happened. So she's asking for a adjustment to what was the maximum standard bills she's received.
How far off was that if you put all the tenants combined in the apartment building versus what that meter is? That is what it is?
Correct, that meter is for the utility room. Each apartment has their own meter.
There's a formula you do. You subtract from the read from the apartments. So
What I'm saying is that that's how far it was off
yes,
after you calculated all the apartment buildings.
yeah, and it's never been that far off. So she's looking for a one-time adjustment.
Has she ever had an adjustment before?
She has not. She's only owned the apartment since last fall. And I went back in history on the previous owner, and he only had one adjustment ever, but it was only for like 10,000 gallons. And that was in quite a few years he owned it.
Was that the same building, the same meter?
No, it was across the other building.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to one time waiver, whatever it is.
Second that.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Roll call vote to do the waiver on 207 South Shabona's laundry room utility bill. Richard Lackowitz,
Yes.
Callan Welsh,
Yes.
Josh Snyder, Denny Sands,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
Mark Stanley.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. And on behalf of Audra, thank you.
Okay, we'll go on to 7 ordinances, resolutions, and proclamations. A is ordinances. Ordinance 2026-04-16F. Amend the peddlers, solicitors, and hawkers ordinance. And I believe the changes that have been made are in yellow, they're highlighted.
So the $100 gets you 3 months?
Yes.
How old is the term hawkers? I've never heard that before. Have you?
Have I? Yeah, I went to all the county fairs and there's always hawkers at the county fairs.
I've never heard that.
Probably a term that Dominic had to have him throw in
No,
there.
that's, don't
That's-
put that on me.
that's-
Put that on me.
A person who travels around selling goods, typically advertising them by shouting. And dates the ordinance.
Yeah, okay.
I think the fees for a license, the 3 months was a year. Now we're shortened it to 3 months. And the application to the clerk, at least 7 days in advance.
It used to be like 30 days, but background checks come back within 24 hours.
And they get a license with a lanyard that they have to display.
So could we get a motion to approve the changes on?
Make a motion to approve it.
Okay.
I've seconded it.
Well, let's just have a roll call vote and we'll be done with it.
Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Richard Lackowitz,
Yes.
Josh Snyder,
Yes.
Callan Welsh.
Yes.
And then on the agenda, the next one would be the fees and rates for peddlers and solicitors. It's page 40 of 82 in the printed packet.
We change that to $100 every 3 months. The license is only good for 3 months.
Currently, it's at $25. The background check's just about $40.
So why aren't we charging them $100 plus the $40 background check?
We can do, you guys, we can change it however you'd like. I just
Yeah.
want to definitely increase it from the $25.
So I think it should be $100 plus the $40 background check that they should have to pay for.
Any other comments on that? And I guess it's gonna be a question for you. Can we pass this ordinance with a
Do a motion,
change?
yeah, what you would do is a motion to amend the ordinance to reflect $100 plus 40. Then you'd have to actually vote on the ordinance.
So I need a motion to.
I make a motion to charge them $100 plus 40, so it'd be 140.
So Jen's a motion to amend the resolution.
I'd second that.
And we'll need a roll call vote on that, Jen, when you get caught up.
Mark Stanley,
Yep.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
Richard Lackowitz,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Callan Welsh,
No.
Josh Snyder,
Yes.
So it's
that's
amended.
for the amendment.
Mhm.
And then we're doing roll call, motion for the 140.
Yeah, motion to approve the amended ordinance. But the ordinance as amended.
I make a motion to approve the amended ordinance.
Well, thank you. Could I have a second, please?
second that.
And could we have a roll call vote on that?
Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Josh Snyder,
Yes.
Richard Lackowitz,
Yes.
Callan Welsh.
No.
Motion carried. I mentally had to figure out that I didn't miss anybody.
Did you? Okay, let's go to B, resolutions. Number 1, resolution 2026-04 2022-04-16R3. Liquor license renewals. Casey's, Express Lane BP, Indian Oaks Country Club, and R&R Pub. They've all paid their fee.
Yes.
Okay, so can we have a motion to approve the resolution to
Approve the license.
Renew their licenses.
renew their license, right?
Make a
That's all.
motion to approve it. A second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Richard Lekowitz,
Yes.
Callan Welsh,
Yes.
Josh Snyder,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, resolution 2604-16R4, video game license renewals, Express Lane BP, and R&R Pub.
Make a motion to approve. I second it.
Roll call vote, please.
Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Callan Welsh,
Yes.
Josh Snyder,
Yes.
Richard Lekowitz,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay. Resolution 2026-04-16R5, the employee policy update. And in your packet, the employee policy there, and again, things are highlighted in yellow, which have been changed. Number one, employment, shows the IMRF, Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. And that states that all employees who work more than 599 hours annually are required to sign up for IMRF. We're in our IMRF, it's all or none, so that's what we gotta do. Benefits provided for full-time employees. Any unused vacation time will be paid out at the end of each fiscal year.
What do we do now?
Use it or lose it. Any questions on that?
That's fair.
I think that was all, right, Jim?
Utility billing moved to the village clerk job description.
I guess you would know that better than anybody.
That was, and, that was it.
You need a motion?
Yes, I do.
Motion to approve? A second.
Roll call vote, please.
Roll call vote, Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Richard Lekowitz,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
Callan Welsh,
Yes.
Josh Snyder,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, number four, resolution 2026-04-16R6. Auditor Lauterbach and Amon, a 2-year agreement.
My only thought on this is we wanna see what other firms are gonna quote us and see if we can get any cheaper.
Okay.
What do they charge right now? Is it 1,800?
12,200.
12,200.
This year was, I think, 11,000 something.
It's
Oh, yeah.
12,200 annually for the first year for 26 and 12,800 for 27.
May I say something?
Oh, sure you can.
So, I understand the board wanting to seek out alternates or see if anything's cheaper. Last year was the first year I had to deal with the audit fully. This year will be the first year Angie's dealing with it fully. We've had a long-term working relationship with Lauterbach and Amen. They helped me fix a lot of stuff with this last year's audit, fiscal year 25. There's a few things that I wanted to review with them with this new audit, as well as they know where we left off on some things, like some of the grant stuff and that, and most of it they helped me fix. But I'd really like to use Lauterbach and Amen at least for one more year. so that we could tie up anything that was left and make sure that everything we've been doing since the last audit, what we corrected, the way things will be doing, is fully done, or take any advice to do anything. They're very familiar with our system.
Can that be amended to reflect, I guess to Josh's point, we need to see if we're competitive in this, or they're competitive in this, can we amend that to a 1 year for right now, and then how transferable would that be with what you guys have done to go to a new auditor?
In a year.
Well, and the other problem is that this is the last the last month of the fiscal year, so the audit really needs to start soon, so.
We were scheduled to start in June with Waterbach.
And what's fiscal year run, June to June?
Fiscal, it runs May 1st to April 30th. So at the end of April, we begin fiscal year 27. The other thing about them is that every time we have a question, their response is quick and thorough. I mean, I'm not one to, blindly follow just because that's what we've always done is not a good enough reason for us to do it. But in the short time that I've been here, they have been nothing but responsive and support, intelligent, thorough. I don't.
So,
Based on the history, though, they're able to look at some reports and explain things back very well. So looking at current reports without having to, because they already know the history.
so if we did the 2-year agreement, that would take us to,
Fiscal year 27, that starts May 1st. So through calendar year 20,
8, June of 28,
June of 27.
May of
What,
27.
yeah, June would be the audit. So it'd be this year and next year if we did 2 years.
Tell about the not having to do it so often.
If we get, I believe if our next audit is clean, it could be 2 audits, but I believe it's if we have 1 more clean audit based on legislation that passed and went into play, we will, if we have another clean audit, we will go to, based on our population, we will go to every 4 years. We have to do the annual audit, the comprehensive audit.
So if we can get through.
So if we can get through another year, then we might not have to do another audit for 4 years.
And that would save us $12,000 a year.
Save a lot, yeah.
And again, I believe that would be depending on if we got any grants to make our spend higher. I understand what Jen's saying, I understand what Josh is saying. I think any auditor that we would select would probably, I hope, ask the same questions. But I would be okay with doing a 1-year deal with the auditors we're used to. I'm not happy about 2 years. 1 year, because we're in the time crunch that we were in now. I don't know how we got that far along without approving an auditor, so if I could have a motion to do a 1 year.
We need to amend that because it's asking for a 2-year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I make a motion to amend it for.
Wait a second, Richard's got a
I
question.
have a question. So on page 33, the auditing services, what is that referring to? 5100531.
That's the,
Does that have to do with just the,
it includes the monthly audits we pay for Locust to assist with reconciliations.
okay, well, that's where I was getting that number from, but yeah, all right.
And up until the last few months, that was averaging $110 to $200 a month, and now we're at under $100 a month. This last one, I think, was $40.
You're welcome.
All right, yeah, go ahead with the motion. I'm good with the 1 year. Make a motion to amend it to a 1 year.
Second, please.
A second.
Roll call.
Roll call to amend to 1 year. Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Richard Luckowitz,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm,
Yes.
Josh Snyder,
Yes.
Kellen Welsh.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, now we'll need a motion to approve a 1 year agreement with Lauterbach and Allen.
Make a motion to approve a 1 year contract with them. A second.
Roll call, please.
Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Richard Luckowitz,
Yes.
Kellen Welsh,
Yes.
Josh Snyder,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, now we'll go on to the important stuff. Resolution 2604-16R9, portable restrooms for Purdy Park and Lions Park. We have a quote from Lakeshore Recycling for the portable restrooms. In the past, last year, anyway, I don't know how far back, last year we had 2 portable restrooms in Purdy Park. There's been people asked that we put a portable restroom in Lions Park due to the number of people that use Lions Park. Probably a good idea if you want to put portable restrooms anywhere, that we split them up instead of 2 in Purdy Park and none in Lions Park. I'd like a motion to approve portable restroom in Purdy Park and one in Lions Park.
Make a motion to approve it.
Second?
And again, this is for how many months out of the year?
May
Is,
through October.
Is that gonna be one of each, one male, one female,
no, one rest,
one unisex, or
I'll second the motion.
any other discussion? The motion, please. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
I second the motion.
Yeah, check, second it.
Okay, here we go. Roll call vote, please.
Mark Stanley,
Yes.
Kellen Welsh,
Yes.
Richard Luckowitz,
Yes.
Josh Snyder,
Yes.
Denny Sands,
Yes.
Steve Wilhelm.
yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we'll go to C, proclamations. Municipal Clerks Week, May 3rd to May 9th. And I will interject at this time, we have the municipal clerk that's on the ball, so this proclamation relates to her. Whereas the office of the municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants and citizens, local governing bodies and agencies of government at other levels. And where am I at? And whereas municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality, impartiality, in rendering equal service to all. Whereas the municipal clerk serves as the information center on all functions of local government and community. Whereas municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, and workshops. whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the municipal clerk. Now, therefore, I, Frank Ottenheim, Village President of Shabbona, Illinois, do hereby proclaim the week of May 3rd through May 9th, 2026 as Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend the appreciation to our municipal clerk, Jen Morrison, and all municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. Dated the 16th day of April, 2026. Thank you, Jen. The next proclamation is National Public Works Week, May 17th to the 23rd, 2026. And again, I think you guys all know that our public works guys are doing, one hell of a job. There's a lot more being done that maybe was being done in the past. Doing a great job. Whereas the public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and service that are vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities, and to public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the village of Shabbona. And whereas these infrastructure facilities and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of the public works professionals, who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, solid wastewater systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the village of Shabbona to gain the knowledge and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2026 marks the 66th annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association, be it now resolved that I, Frank Ottenheim, Village President, do hereby designate the week of May 17th through the 23rd, 2026 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with the representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities and events and ceremonies designated to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize all substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing the quality of life for all. In witness thereof, help me out, Blair. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the village to be affixed. Done at the village of Shabbona, DeKalb County, Illinois, the 16th day of April, 2026. And again, our public works people are doing one hell of a job.
And if you can give them one gift, stop flushing flushable and unflushable wipes.
Even if they
They
say
asked me to
flushable,
put that
they
out
are not.
today, even if it says flushable, they're not flushable.
As a landlord, I second that.
So, it's the best gift you can give public works.
As a sewer cleaner's daughter, third that.
They're doing a job. They really are. They've undertaken projects that wouldn't have been done by Public Works in town here before, we would have hired it done. It made a big improvement on well 5, replacing a pipe that was rusted out and been that way for quite some time. They changed the doors on well house number 5 that were rusted out. They're gonna change the doors on the water tower that are rusted out. It's not only plowing snow, but they're working on putting playground equipment up. They've been great. So when you see them, thank them, please. Okay, number 3, Motorcycle Awareness Month, May of 2026. Here we go, bear with me. The Village of Shabbona, Illinois, the proclamation. Whereas safety is of the highest priority for highways and streets of our village and state. And whereas the state of Illinois is proud to be a national leader in motorcycle safety, education, and awareness. And whereas motorcycles are primarily common and economical means of transportation that reduces fuel consumption, road wear, and contributes in a significant way to relief of traffic and parking congestion. And whereas it is especially meaningful that the citizens of our village and our state be aware of motorcycles on the roadways and recognize the importance of motorcycle safety. And whereas the members of ABATE of Illinois Incorporated, a brotherhood aimed towards total education, continually promote motorcycle safety, education, and awareness in high school driver's education programs and to the general public in our village and state, presenting motorcycle awareness programs to over 120,000 participants in Illinois over the past 10 years. And whereas all motorcycles should join ABATE of Illinois Incorporated in actively promoting the safe operation of motorcycles, as well as promoting motorcycle safety, education, awareness, and respect of the citizens of our village and state. And whereas motorcyclists of Illinois have contributed extensive volunteerism and money to national and community charitable organizations. And whereas during the month of May, all roadway users should unite in safe sharing of roadways within the village of Shabbona and throughout the great state of Illinois. Therefore, I, Frank Ottenheim, village president of the village of Shabbona in the great state of Illinois, in recognition of 39 years of ABATE of Illinois Incorporated and over 352,000 registered motorcyclists statewide, and in recognition of the continued role Illinois serves as a leader in motorcycle safety, education, and wellness, do hereby proclaim the month of May this year of 2026 as Motorcycle Awareness Month. In the village of Shabbona, I urge all residents to join in an effort to improve safety and awareness on our roadways. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the great seal of the village of Shabbona to be affixed the 16th day of April in the year 2026. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I get a photo op or no?
Yeah. You guys can stand together and you're both shy. You know, shy.
Okay. All right. That works for me.
It's only the elected officials, by the way.
I'll stand back here by the flag.
information. Yep, and then he can sign it, you guys can take it with you.
Frank, you're awful short.
Hey, I'm just hoping he's not gonna beat me.
Now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have Frank sign it first.
Okay, that'd be a good one.
Excellent, Mark.
And then, yes. you can take it.
That's a good thing.
Rick, while you're doing that, you want me to talk about Adopt a Planter?
You bet you can.
All right. So the Adopt a Planter program is going phenomenally. We're very pleased with the community involvement that
Myself, I worked that for 40 years in Bowling Green.
that we have,
So,
that a great many people have engaged in the program. We have all of the downtown planters assigned, or volunteered for, and, only 2 small planters left in Purdy Park. So if anyone wants to come in clutch at the very end, and we've got 2 planters unclaimed. I have seen the ones by the library. They already decorated those for Easter. And they had, the Red Hats had some Easter eggs with some candy in them, and the kids, were able to take the candy out. So already the planters, people are really engaging. So we're very pleased. The DeKalb High School they're gonna be ready for us to pick up plants on May 11th or 12th, one of those days. And then, we'll get a plan figured out for how we're gonna get all the plants distributed to each of the planters. Super excited.
Good deal.
Thank you.
And Jen.
You
Oh, and I
were the
made,
mastermind.
I made, the placards. Jen found some metal, stakes that, usually they would be used to write, tomatoes or whatever on there. And then I used my vinyl cutter and made all the names, in permanent vinyl for, on the stakes. So all of the sponsors, will be permanent vinyl staked into their planter.
Thank you.
And just think next year it'll be easier because William can do that with his
3D printer.
You do that for us, William?
Probably.
Probably, okay. All right, let's go on to new business. Discussion of Village Code, Chapter 6, Animals, Dogs, and Cats. We've had some requests that we do something about the stray cats that are in town due to, what was his name, Calvin? Calvin the cat?
Calvin lives in water.
But Calvin's moved, so I don't know what we have to do. This is our village code that's in your packet. If we want to look into doing something about cats. I would say we need a little committee work on it first. Josh, would you be willing to take your committee and work on this code?
Sure. And
schedule a meeting so we can get this done. Maybe it's not as important now that Calvin's moved, but we probably need to get it
Oh,
done.
Calvin was a stud or something?
Calvin was pretty friendly, so.
Yeah, they had a tracker on Calvin.
So,
So I got a question, section 6.6, letter C.
okay, go ahead.
I mean, so when I first read that, I was like, what? So the village board is responsible for killing dangerous animals?
It does say or any other person.
Well, I know.
But, yeah, it's kind of weird.
Just give them your phone number.
Yeah, right. I mean, I got nothing against it, but it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, if you're gonna kill something, call the lawyer first, will you?
Okay.
No protected species.
So that'll be sent to committee for, and Josh will schedule a meeting date. We're getting there. Let's go on to discussion approval to plant a tree in honor of Labor Day, Arbor Day. This be your discussion.
Well, this was asked, someone asked for this to be, I think it was Mark to carry over, to discuss, put it on the next agenda. So it came up that 2 or 3 trees are needed to fill in a gap at the rear of the park where the 22 trees were planted. The place that we got the 22 trees, the Green Giant Arborvitae's, I don't know how to say that, does not have any of the tall version of the trees. They're like 12 or 15 feet available. They just have a 6-foot option. So Frank asked me to see if I could find another wholesale nursery that would have anything available and get pricing on planting 1 or so of those trees. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Fair enough.
If we're gonna plant a tree, we need 3 trees there.
Absolutely.
So maybe this would be the one to buy and plant for Arbor Day, but until we find one, we can't do that, so. I guess we'll kick this one down the road until next month, see if we can find a tree. I think it should be at the same height all the rest of them are. So,
Okay.
we'll bring it back next month. Anybody got any questions on that? Tree guys? How about we go to number 10, adjournment?
Move to adjourn. Second, okay.
All in favor? How about you?
What did I?
You in favor?
Whatever you say, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Wait, take a vote. You gotta take a vote.
All in
All in
favor?
favor?
No, they're all leaving, so.
I heard everybody vote yes.
I thought we
You gotta
said
ask.
in favor, aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, there you go.